this might be your jam. Obviously, it's a lot of people's jams. There was a really snide comment about Birkenstocks and I felt very called out. An Uno reverse card? Like what? Okay, no, we can't get into it. No, we can't. We can't do it. Nope. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney, or welcome if you're new. Today's video, we will be doing a reading vlog, maybe with some little house vlog updates and whatever else happens, but welcome to the vlog, and I'm excited to have you with me today. So hey, what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. This is my last week of freedom. I've had the last 2 weeks off before I start my new job at my first job that I ever had as a nurse. I'm going back to my roots at a neuro ICU here. I'm very excited to be back where I know that I'm going to love the work that I do, but this week is all about catching up. And this vlog in particular will most likely be covering a singular book. And that book, friends, is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. The girlies made me do it. I want to see what all the fuss is about. I have heard overwhelmingly positive reviews of this book mixed in with a couple like lukewarm reviews, right? And I really want to know where I stand. And I want to be able to explain this book better than what I always have been here on my channel, which is just like Gossip Girl vibes, which is all I know about it. Except now I know a little bit more because I made it to page 105 today. Some immediate thoughts, right? Okay, so we are following our two main characters, Magnolia and BJ, and they're like childhood friends turned lovers. They have this really like toxic, in my opinion, codependent relationship where even if they're not together, they're sleeping in each other's beds every night, most every night, even if they're sleeping with other people, which is like all well and good if they're like besties and platonic, but it's very much not platonic. So right off the bat, I hate to say this on camera, the first page I read last night and I looked over at Caleb and I said, I'll be surprised if I finish this book. That was my immediate thought and I'm so sorry that that is what happened. But obviously I'm over 100 pages in and I will be finishing the book regardless because I think that the drama in and of itself will be worth the read. And I'll explain a little bit more why I kind of felt that way right off the bat. I guess I just don't really jive with the writing style too much immediately. And I think a couple things that bother me, I don't know, one thing in particular, I'm just gonna read it to you. It's literally just describing an outfit, okay? Don't freak out, I'm not spoiling anything. I just like, what even? Okay, it says black denim jacket, black t-shirt, black jeans, black cons, but he's very shiny on the inside though. One, Converse, was shortened to cons, which I thought was funny. And he's very shiny on the inside though. I don't know, man. It was off to a rough start for me last night, I'm not gonna lie. Now that I am a little bit farther in, I have seen a little bit more from each character's point of view and have started to feel a little bit more for the respective characters, Magnolia and BJ. Kinda just understanding where they're coming from and why they are the way they are together, why they are the way they are separately. And there was a pretty triggering scene for me actually already, which I was not expecting to really feel much while reading this, I guess. I don't know. But there is a trigger warning for drug overdose in case anyone else wants to know that. That scene in particular like made me feel a lot, and I actually think that the emotions written about that scene were written really well. So even though I am rolling my eyes a little bit at some of the prose and cheesiness and feels very much like early 2000s, there have been some moments where either I feel deeply for something going on or the drama is just very, you know, very much like a car wreck. You just can't look away. So at the very least, I am looking forward to seeing where the rest of the story goes. I really love these covers. I really love the feel of these paperbacks. They're very slappy. I'm just a little bit hesitant, honestly, on the relationship, and I don't know if it will just be romanticizing this like toxic codependency and possessiveness, I think is what I'm feeling right now. But we will see where the story goes because this is all I'm reading today and tomorrow, and I will be back with updates, don't you worry. So we got married last year in October, and around that time through the end of the year, we really haven't been doing any home renovations because we were really busy with the wedding and all of the things surrounding wedding planning, and then the holidays happened. But now that it's the new year, we are starting to do more house renovations again. And Caleb started working on our master bedroom drywall this weekend. You don't have to come in if you don't want to.
Well, I want to watch your reaction.
You want to watch?
Don't film me.
And if you remember the arches that he created downstairs, you know, the big arch going from the dining room to the living room, and then another thicker arch going from the living room to the kitchen. So he made those, and he's making 2 more arches in the master bedroom, and I'm really excited. And he just said that he finished kind of like the bare bones of it, and he will put the drywall up on them sometime this week. So we're gonna go see what it looks like. That looks so good. Okay, so we have our French doors over here, and Caleb has put up the drywall over here, as well as on this wall by the window. This cavity we're keeping open actually right now because we're gonna put some like tokens above our master bedroom door before Caleb drywalls it in. We wanna put some like black copal incense and I don't know, maybe a note or something. But then, okay, wow, this looks so good. I love how tall it is. So our master bed will be over here. We have our, oh my God, they work. Shut up. Oh my God, that looks so good. So we have 2 pull down sconces that's gonna be on either side of the big master, what is this, bed here. Oh my God, that looks so good. Here, you can kind of see, it's obviously dusty, but like with the really dark hardwood floors, these are, oh my God, they're gonna look so good. And then this archway here will be leading into our master bathroom, which is way over there. But there's this arch leading into this little hallway area and this little arch right here. This room here is gonna be our master closet. No, oh, look at it from this side. I don't know, that looks really good with the lights like perfectly centered. Oh my God, it looks so grand. Yeah. With the French doors.
Doesn't it?
Oh my God, look at that. That's gonna be so iconic. This door we're going to keep rectangular 90-degree angles. But we're gonna put a little like dormer, is that what you said? Transom? Like a little glass box there so you can still see through the top of it, but this will be a solid door going into the master bathroom. So like if the door is closed, we can still get some natural light from that window over there through this little transom. That's the vision, and these arches look so phenomenal. Okay, friends, I don't understand why, literally why, does everyone love this book so much? I'm on page 172, and I'd say that's far enough to have a literal opinion on what's been happening. I just don't understand why I'm supposed to care about these young, privileged, rich kids and their toxic relationships. I'm so sorry. I don't understand it. I don't even think that it's written well. Oh, I think that the kind of shit talking aspects, you know, like the banter between the characters is pretty good, but it could be better. I mean, I've giggled a couple times, but that's it. I literally like feel nothing except confusion and just general annoyance at what is happening.
I thought you said earlier that you couldn't get it out of your head.
If you just heard Caleb, he said, I thought earlier you said you couldn't get it out of your head. And he's not wrong. While we were cooking dinner, now I'm sweating. While we were cooking dinner, I literally looked at him and I was like, why can't I stop thinking about Magnolia Parks? Like, what's going on? Like, I actually want to sit down and read it. That was before I read 73 more pages of it, Caleb. I don't think that I'm gonna DNF it yet, but the possibility is very high, I'm not gonna lie. And it sucks so much because I love these covers. I already have, well, I don't know, the next one's not Daisy Hate. I don't know what it is. I already have that one too because someone gifted me both of these copies and I feel terrible for like not loving something, especially when it was gifted to me, but I'm trying to not hate it. But that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm not DNFing it right now, but this vlog might be shorter than anticipated. I've read about 100 more pages of Magnolia Parks. Against my better judgment, I'm not DNFing. I'm on page 260 right now. I am so conflicted with this book because it's not bad. I'm not hating it. I just really don't understand what about it is great enough to have such the following that it does. Magnolia and BJ's relationship is super unhealthy, right? Everyone knows this. And if this type of relationship or them being in these types of situations are sort of like validating or relatable for people, and that's why they are feeling some type of way while reading it, I totally understand that. I will probably go into some spoilers. I mean, I don't even know if you can spoil this book, honestly. It's pretty straightforward. I think that having BJ struggling with addiction is literally the only thing about this story that is making me emotional, because literally in 2 pages, I wanted to stop reading this book. It was during one of the text conversations after BJ relapsed and did some coke at some party or whatever after he saw Tom kissing Magnolia in like a very sweet way. He like went off the rails. And then the text conversation was later that night, Magnolia asking BJ like, hey, are you okay? Like, was it just alcohol last night? And he obviously lied. And he was like, yeah, just too many Negronis or whatever. And she believed him. And she's like, okay, like just feel better, heart. And it just made me physically sick. Like it made me feel awful because I just felt very much like that was a past relationship of mine, but I was watching it from the outside. And it's not a good feeling because not only is he lying to her, she's believing him while he's, you know, also sleeping with whoever the heck he wants at any given point. Their relationship with that tied into it, that situation right there, I was like, I just have no desire to keep reading this and no desire to experience them going through another situation like this. Like any relationship that is so toxic that it immediately brings you to a mental space like that where like you're just gonna relapse, like it's just so not okay. And so much of it is just like they just need to talk to one another. Like if they sat down and had productive conversations like adults, this book would be over in 150 pages. But instead, now they've gotten Tom wrapped up in it, and now Magnolia's falling for Tom, Tom's falling for Magnolia, but now we have found out that Tom is also using Magnolia as a foxhole, just like Magnolia is using Tom. So now this whole situation is just very messy. And literally, I just want to find out who BJ cheated on Magnolia with. I honestly, that is the sole purpose for me continuing this book right now. And if that plot twist does not surprise me or isn't something that's worth a 400-page buildup, I quit. Because it's constantly brought up and I just want to know. I just want to know. But yeah, I've had quite the roller coaster of emotions while reading this book. There was a really snide comment about Birkenstocks and I felt very called out. And it literally made me feel like a garbage person. And I can't really get past the writing, I guess. Like, there are some good little one-liners, you know. There was some quote about magnets that related to their relationship that I really liked. I thought it was cute. But then so often, in the same exact paragraph, there'll be some little quote at the beginning, like, we're just babies, really, doing grown-up things with hearts the size of Texas and a lust as deep as the Mariana Trench. And then the last sentence of that same paragraph is, what was I supposed to do? Not become disproportionately attached to the world's most perfect boy? Like, it sounds like you're describing a dog. Like that's how I would talk to a pet. Like you're the world's most perfect boy. Like I don't know, but it is 1:30 now and I really want to actually try to finish this today. It reads really quickly. I just ordered lunch, so I'm just gonna read until it gets here, eat, and just continue reading. I have nothing planned today except hopefully finishing this book. I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. There's a lot riding on the back half of this book right now. I also just like don't give a shit about all the fashion talk, which I know is like the leaning it more into the Gossip Girl spec of the story. I just gloss over and I was like, I literally don't give a shit because I wear Birkenstocks. All right, hello. Hi. I expected this vlog not to end in this way. I had to get my main camera to have a sit-down chat with you all. I did end up finishing Magnolia Parks yesterday, but I needed time to rationally collect my thoughts before I just made an update or gave a final review based on emotion. What are you doing? Because honestly, y'all, I don't think I've ever given a book 1 star. I really don't think that I have. Normally, I can find at least one thing that I can appreciate about the story, appreciate about the writing, or something that I did actually enjoy within the story. I honestly Couldn't do that for this one. I'm giving this book 1 star. And the reason I wanted to wait until today to talk about this book is because I know that this book is a very like culty book, right? Like everyone who loves it loves it. And that being said, I wanted my reasonings to come across as more factual rather than emotional, because if I filmed this update yesterday, it would have just been a straight up rant style review. And honestly, it still might turn into that a little bit, and I don't want it to, but I have a lot of feelings about this book that aren't good. The way that I thought I would feel about this book is how I feel about trash TV. You know, those garbage romance dating shows like Love Island or Married at First Sight or something. You know, like me and Kayla watch those for the drama. It's ridiculous. And it's just a good way to like turn your mind off after a long day and just like watch some bullshit go down. Like I know that those shows are trash, but they're still kind of fun, you know? That's how I thought I would feel about this book. I didn't think that I would love it, but I thought that I would have at least like a good time and it would be entertaining. It was neither a good time nor was it entertaining. Am I like really low? Hold on. Let's do that. I love reading and watching groups of people, you know, divulge into this just petty, senseless drama just as much as the next person. Everything that happened in this story, you knew it was going to happen because there is a very particular pattern that our main characters, Magnolia and BJ, follow, and it doesn't stray from that pattern. First of all, Magnolia and BJ, their relationship, you know, they've been together since they were kids. He cheated on her, so then they broke up, and since then they've just been extremely toxic to one another, but they still have a relationship, like a friendship, where they're always sleeping in each other's beds. They don't actually have sex. They don't like sleep together, but they sleep next to one another almost all days out of the week. And the days that they don't, obviously he's like off with some other girl, but whatever. The point of that is I think that's weird. I only think it's weird because of everything else that goes on, all right? Because a relationship like that, I could actually get behind. That's kind of cute, but only if they have somewhat of a healthy relationship or friendship outside of that fact. You know what I'm saying? But they don't, and we're gonna talk about it. So the pattern goes like this, right? Magnolia and BJ are fine. They're hanging out, they're having a good time, whatever. But then Magnolia will walk in on BJ with some other woman in some capacity. She would get upset and then leave and go date some random guy, because she's a serial dater. She doesn't sleep with any other person, but she dates people. Now, even though BJ was with another person, he sees her with someone else, and then he goes completely off the rail, gets absolutely obliterated, then starts having sex with literally anything that has 2 legs. And it's written in such like a nasty way. Like he's just very vindictive and very spiteful. And this exact situation happened so many times. Like even within the first 150 pages, it happened quite a few times. And it's just like, how could the story go on from there, right? That's what I was thinking. What could be in the rest of these pages? Well, I think the writer tried to make the pattern a little bit more interesting by adding in that BJ has a cocaine addiction, which definitely seemed to only come up as a reactionary response when he would see Magnolia with someone else. And obviously it's not healthy, like in the slightest, but I also just feel like, in my opinion, it's an extremely distasteful way to further the plot. I think just the idea of using this drug addiction as leverage against Magnolia, or as something that she is supposed to feel bad for him for, just to get the attention back on him, is extremely terrible. And ultimately, this type of drama is just stupid. Like, okay, I absolutely do understand wanting to turn to your vices when you're extremely upset. I literally understand that. Trust me. But it was extremely obvious that he did it almost purely out of spite. Like the way that the drug addiction was written, the emotions behind it on Magnolia's side, those were written pretty well. However, the way that it was written from BJ's side, like it literally, like he wasn't fiendy for any drugs. It would only come up when he was angry at Magnolia and wanting to get back at her and trying to forget the situation at hand. And it's just maddening because he literally almost died. And he's just showing time and time again that he doesn't actually give a shit about anyone else, and all that he feels for Magnolia is toxic possessiveness. And when he can't have her, he just turns around to fuck some random girl with no thought or no foresight to how it is going to currently affect his situation or affect a situation in the future with Magnolia. Like if he actually wanted to be with her and she wanted to be with him, you'd think that they would actually try to have a grown-up sit-down conversation and just try to figure out what's going on and what they want, but they don't. Instead, they're just playing these stupid games, and they're extremely terrible and just dangerous because like he, again, literally almost died. And for what? And let me just say, before, when I told you that one of the only reasons that I wanted to finish the book was to figure out the kind of like plot twist of who he slept with, because they were really building it up. Like really, it was like a main part of the plot was him hiding who he cheated on Magnolia with. If you haven't read the book, I'll give you one guess. Did you guess her best friend? Because of course, who else would it be? Who else would it be? It wasn't worth it. This book was not worth that plot twist. It's not even a plot twist. It's literally common sense. Everything that happened is just, it wasn't innovative. It wasn't original. It wasn't fucking exciting. It wasn't anything. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I don't understand why everyone likes this book. I think that I would have a different opinion on this story if they actually talked about or discussed some of the conflicts or problems at hand, but it literally never was. And when they would argue, they being Magnolia and BJ, like in particular, when they would argue, they would both be pointing the finger at the other person, neither of them trying to take a step back and see from the other person's point of view. Like obviously they just like don't know how to argue together. They don't know how to communicate. It was always someone else's fault, and that just goes into like how insufferable all of the characters were. They're just a bunch of young, rich kids doing whatever the hell they want with zero consequences, legally, financially, emotionally, or anything. And it is a damn shame because these paperbacks are so nice. I love how they feel. The covers are so beautiful. I got 2 of them as a gift, and I'm so sorry, but I couldn't do it. I did it, but I can't do it. Oh my god, like there's just so many things I don't like very particular things about the story and the writing and just how it went. I don't know. I don't think I should keep going because I've already been talking for like 23 minutes and I need to be rid of this book. Yeah, so unfortunately, this is my first 1-star review ever. It was not worth sitting and reading all of this for me. It wasn't worth it. And do with that what you will. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe this is the type of drama that you want. Because honestly, with a different mindset, maybe with just you being a different person, this might be your jam. Obviously, it's a lot of people's jams. I just hated it. And that's really sad. I'm sad about it. But it's time to move on from this book. So this isn't necessarily even like a vlog anymore. It kind of just turned into a review in a vlog style. We got a cute little house update and an attempted contained review of this book. Please let me know down in the comments if you agree with me. If you don't agree with me and this is one of your favorite books ever, I still respect you, okay? I am just sorry that I couldn't be on that side with you, but I just couldn't be. So if you're still watching just for the sake of trying to be cute, leave the bee emoji down below in the comments. Yeah, I didn't even touch on all of the fucking tattoos that he has about her. Like, and for what? Why? It's an Uno reverse card? Oh my god, I just remembered that. Like, what? Okay, no, we can't get into it. No, we can't. We can't do it. Nope. Okay, just leave a bee down in the comments. And while you're down there, I'm gonna cry. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support and your kindness when I don't like a book that you might love. But of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.